What is the secret to the longevity?
The secret is to adapt to the evolution of football. Focus only on you can control the team.
Sometimes, as a coach, you have to react to the genius.
How can you put Zidane on the left, on the right? Are you crazy? Put Zidane number 10. Brazil has fantastic players, and we can do a fantastic World Cup.
Carlo, if you win the World Cup, surely you just jump on the horse and ride off into the sunset. Well, here I am in, no, it's not dreary Glasgow, it's dreary London, believe it or not. I'm here, however, to meet an absolute colossus of the game. He won 2 Champions Leagues as a player in that fantastic Milan team. 5 Champions Leagues as a coach and as a manager. And also he's the only manager stroke coach to win the top flight in the 5 major leagues in Europe. He's cool, he's calm, he's collected. He's Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo, great to see you.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much for joining us. I'm very, very well. How are you?
Still alive.
That's good. Well, this side of the grass, that's a good thing. I have to give you best wishes from somebody you know very well. You're looking at me because you think you know what's coming. Big Duncan Ferguson. I spoke to Big Duncan and he said, make sure you tell Carlo I send my best wishes to him and his family. And he said he misses your singing. Is this another talent that you have you never told us about?
I'm not a talent, but I like to sing.
You like to sing?
Yeah.
Well, he did say to me, he said he misses your singing. Yeah.
No, we spent a good time with Duncan.
Yeah.
1 year and a half.
He's a good man, isn't he?
Oh, really good man. Character.
Yeah, character. Plenty of that. He had plenty of that. How did you enjoy your time at Everton?
Oh, I love the period at Everton. It was a difficult period because it was COVID there, but I have a good memory of the environment there, and I'm looking always to the result of Everton. I know that Moyes now is doing a fantastic job. They have a new stadium, and one day I will be there to support Everton in the new stadium.
I'm sure you will. Thanks very much again for joining us. If I may, I want to take you back to you as a youngster, if I may. Can you tell me, what was life like for a young lad growing up in northern Italy?
It was a good life. I spent my childhood was really good, really quiet. It was a good atmosphere in my family. Yeah. No problem at all. My father was a farmer. They make cheese. He is the region of Parmigiano Reggiano. Of course. The cheese. Yeah. And my father was dedicated to it. No money. No. No, I have to say, but hard work. I spent a good life. And at 15 years old, I left for the Academy of Parma. I left the family. I went to a college to study and to play.
What did you study at college?
I studied electronics.
Yeah.
But I'm not a good electrician, no. I have to say. But it was tough because I spent 4 years there, out from the family. I spent only 1 day with my family on Sunday. It was a tough period.
So you were at the academy in Parma for 6 days of the week?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I stayed in a college. It was a priest college. It was a good lesson for 4 years. I learned to be independent.
Well, it's still very young to be leaving the family house at 15, 16. It must have been a big change for you.
It was a big change.
Did it take a while to adapt, or did you?
No, because I loved football and I want to follow my passion. It was difficult for my mother to leave me to go. Of course. There, but I had the support of my father. We were not football family. Yeah. My father was a supporter, of course.
Of Parma?
No, of Fiorentina.
Of Florence?
From Florence.
Yeah. At what point in your youth did you decide football's for me?
There was not a specific moment. So Parma at that time was in third division. It was not a strong team as was in the future. The first time that I started to think about professional when I signed for Roma. Roma was one of the best clubs in Italy.
Absolutely.
And so, at 20 years old, I started to think as a professional.
Tell me the difference, that step up to Roma. Was it a shock to the system? Did you go from all of a sudden, you know, wow, this is the big league here?
Yeah, this is the big league. Yeah. I had the luck that the manager at the time was Nils Lidon, Swedish, bring me to Rome. And so he helped me a lot. He was really good with the young players, Lidl, and but it was completely different world. I never been to Rome at that time, so Rome, a beautiful city and supporter with a lot of passion for the club. So I spent there 8 years.
Yeah.
2 years difficult because I had injuries on my knees, and so.
I saw that. The injuries themselves, did they mentally affect you?
Mentally they didn't affect me.
Yeah.
So it was really tough to recover because the time to recover from a knee injury was really complicated.
It's different now.
Different now, really different now. But I was able to manage this situation and to be stronger.
And then from Roma, you go to Milan, which I regard, me personally, one of the greatest club sides I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, you could go from 1 to 11 and absolutely fantastic players. How do you look back on that?
It was a fantastic team.
Oh.
I think it
Didn't have a weakness.
was something new in football because Milan signed a manager that was really good for Italian football, Sacchi, that put a different style of play for Italian football.
It was,
High pressure, it was. Because before Sacchi, it was only defense, a really low block, and without Sacchi. With Sacchi, Italian football, more aggressive, more pressure, high pressure in front. It was really exciting to play because now all the team play with pressure, pressing and this and that, but in 86, 87, there were not a lot of teams that could use these tactics and offside also.
I played against Baresi, Maldini, Costa Curta and those boys. And honestly, I think it's the only time I've ever, as a centre forward, been thinking about the defenders more than them thinking about me.
Yeah.
It was incredible, Carlo. And Baresi, in particular, ran that offside line like you've no idea. So my game was concentrating on him bringing them all out. They obviously worked at it. I thought it was an incredible piece of football, which they probably wouldn't be able to do nowadays.
But listen, it's funny because Sacchi, we are used to say to the defender, let the striker follow you, not you to follow the striker.
Well, it worked. I can tell you, it worked.
To be honest, now it's really difficult to propose this kind of offside because the rule is changed, and so it's more difficult now.
You mentioned that, you know, they would have to approach the game differently now, right?
Yeah.
Because of the offside rule. Now, I do not have any doubt at all that they could and they would, no problem. But it would be a dramatic change for them, wouldn't it?
Dramatic change.
Yeah.
For them, yes, but Sacchi spent a lot of time to work, and at that time you had the opportunity, the possibility for a manager to train properly, not like now.
Too many games.
Too many games,
No
you have no time to train. We are not managers now, we are filmmakers that you make video to show to the player, to explain to the player what is your idea. Much more, I think, much more complicated now, the work, because you have to work only theoretically, not practically.
It's a shame that, isn't it? Because I would imagine most coaches, if not all coaches, are at home, out in the training ground, right? That's where they want to be with their players. But because of time, because of schedules, is there a lot more videos getting done in the video room?
Yeah, of course. Now our job is completely changed.
Yeah.
I think it's more difficult also for the players.
But you've adapted.
Yeah, we have to adapt, and also for the players to improve is much more complicated. You have no time to improve. You have the time. You have only time to train and rest.
You mentioned Saki, but also you played under some fantastic coaches, fantastic managers.
Yes.
You know, I mean, amazing. You got Capello and, you know, Sven-Goran Eriksson, to name but a few. Did you look at them at that time? Were you walking around, Carlo, with your eyes open and your ears open, listening and taking little things in from all these coaches?
Yes, of course. It was a great experience. The most influenced manager was Saki, of course, because I played with him 5 years as a player and 3 years as an assistant for the national team. But Capello too was fantastic manager. Eriksson came to Rome really young, but with a new idea about football. So it was a great school for me to pass through all these managers.
Did you know coaching and management was for you? Did you find it difficult initially?
Difficult. The most important part of your job is the relationship. I'm not a manager. My job is a manager, but I am a person.
Your career comes to an end, I think you were 33, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, was that tough for you, or did injuries make it easier for you to accept? Because nowadays, 33 is not old.
No, no problem at all to stop. Also because I had the opportunity to go directly to the national team.
Yeah.
I decided to stop because I could leave Milan and go to another club in Italy, but I decided to stop. I started to suffer a little bit, to have problem on my knees, and so I decided to probably I didn't have a problem, and I'm sure I'm not going to have problem when I stop to be a manager. So there are other things that I can think about in the future. Not in football, maybe. I love football.
Yeah.
I will be always a big fan of football, but if I have to stop, I'm going to stop without any problem.
And coming to the end of your playing career, did you know coaching and management was for you? That was what you wanted to do? That was the next natural step. And how did the assistant manager's job at Italy come up? You were obviously asked to do it. Was it a surprise? Obviously a pleasant one?
Saki asked me, he said to me, when you stop playing, come with me as assistant, and I take the opportunity immediately, and it was in 92, and we had 2 years to prepare the World Cup in 94, and in 95 I started to train myself.
That transition into coaching and management, in any way, shape or form, did you find it difficult initially?
Difficult.
Yeah. How
really
difficult?
Really difficult.
Yeah.
Change the responsibility. As an assistant coach, you have small responsibility. And the difficulty is to talk to the player, to talk to the people in front of you, and you have to talk to them every day, and you have to find something exciting for them. You have to be clear in the explanation. So it's completely another world. You have to talk with the press, you have to talk with your club, so it's completely different. And the same feeling that I had the first time that I talked to my players is the same feeling that I have now.
There was a wonderful statement that Zlatan said, and he said, there are a lot of managers that know how to talk to football players. He said, but you know how to talk to people. It's a massive, massive compliment.
The most important part of your job is the relationship. Because if you ask to a player, who are you? Most of them say, I am a player. No, you are not. You play football. You are a person that plays football. And this is a huge difference, because sometimes when you have to take a decision, the players confuse the two parts, the professional and the personal.
Do you think it's possible for a coach or a manager to make professional decisions, which they have to do, but never affect the person or the personal side of it?
I accept the fact that the players can be upset or angry with the manager, not with the person, with the manager.
Yeah.
I'm not a manager. My job is a manager, but I am a person.
Yeah.
And so you have to respect me also if I take a decision against you as a person. And after years, most of the players understand this. I have a fantastic personal relationship, not all, but
well, it must be nearly all. It must be nearly all, Carlo. We spoke about the players there. You also managed and coached under some incredible characters, whether it's Berlusconi, Abramovich, Perez, people like that. Nowadays, how important is that relationship between the coach, stroke manager, and whether it's the president or the owner?
Yeah, it's really important. Of course, if you lose the trust of the club, you are in a difficult situation. You have to respect the club. You have to give to them all the information that they need. Mm-hmm. I have to be honest, I had fantastic president, fantastic club, really well organized. Mm-hmm. But sometimes there are conflicts, of course. Sometimes life. There are conflicts, and you have to be able to manage the conflict with talking.
Is it harder or more difficult for coaches and managers nowadays to deal with all that, or has it always been there, like 20, 30 years ago?
No, always been there.
Always been there.
You have to be focused on what you can control. That is the team. Mm-hmm. How you want to play, how the team plays. Focus on there. The thing that you are not able to control, the critics of the press, the critics of the club, you cannot control this. Focus on only on you can control.
So you start off assistant with the national side of Zurich, and then all of a sudden you're out on your own and you've got to stand on your own 2 feet. Now you mentioned the differences between an assistant to making the big jump. How did you handle the big jump initially? Was it a little bit of a shock to the system, or did you know what was coming?
I was completely focused on what I knew. And so the tactical aspect, I was completely focused on 4-4-2 because I played with Saki 4-4-2, and I didn't want to change to have any different idea because I didn't have the experience.
Yeah.
Also the experience to explain to the player if we play a different system. I was really comfortable to explain to the player 4-4-2. How I am really comfortable to explain 4-4-2 now.
Yeah, it's amazing, eh?
It's the same, but and after that you have to adapt a little bit, and you have to start to think is more important, the system or the player?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. I'm dying to ask you that question. If you go to that club and you've got 4-4-2 in your mind, what if you go to that club, Carlo, and you look at the players and you think, I'm not sure they're suited to 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Do you have to then adapt and change to their strengths, or can you make them change to your strength of the 4-4-2?
No. I have to adapt. The player is the most important part of this world, and so the player has to be comfortable. Don't be focused too much on the system that you have an idea, because if the player is not comfortable to play this system, you are not going to have success. There is no winning system. 4-4-2 is not the winning system. Mm-hmm. You can play with 3 at the back, 5 at the back, 4-3, 3 strike, 4-3-3. Build a system where the players and the team is comfortable and where the players are able to show their quality. I understood this for the first time when I went to Juventus, because there was Zidane. How can you put Zidane on the left, on the right? Are you crazy? Put Zidane number 10.
I know. Well, that's the perfect example, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes as a coach, you have to react to the genius.
Exactly. It's exactly like this. Our job is like this. Don't invent football. They already invented football.
Yeah.
And I think that the new generation of the managers, I think the idea, and they try to show something special, no? They try to show football, of course, it's changed, and now build up from the back.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a fantastic idea to build up from the back, but depends the quality that you have.
Yeah. I want to take you back again, if I may. I totally agree with you.
We are old generation.
Yeah, I know we are. And that's why I want to ask you. That fantastic back four that I played against, I mean, the one I said to you about, Baresi and Maldini and Costa Curta, would they have been happy getting the ball from the goalkeeper and playing it about from the back, would they?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I'd like to see it though, I must admit.
There are games where the goalkeeper and the two centre back are the players that touch the ball most than the others.
Yes.
There is something wrong.
Yeah.
There are people that to see the quality of a goalkeeper, they see two things, of course, how he's in the goal and how he touched the ball with the feet. But he's a goalkeeper. Because if he touches well the ball with the feet, he can play midfielder.
His job's to keep the ball out the net, yeah?
Football is not so complicated, no?
I know, I think sometimes we make it complicated. Now, you mentioned coaching at Juve and then obviously Milan as well. What was it like going back as a coach from obviously being a player there?
As a manager, it was great. I knew the idea of the club. They wanted to play good football with players with quality. And they signed for me a lot of quality players. Yeah. Maybe too much.
You think so? Did that give you a headache?
Yeah,
too many good players?
At the beginning, a little bit, because
in
that team we played with a lot of number 10. Yeah. Pirlo, Seedorf, Kaká, Rui Costa, Rivaldo. But we were able to build a good balance, because another important aspect of the team is the balance of the team, how you are able to play with the ball and also without the ball.
I want to ask you, one of my ex-teammates, I mean, whenever Gattuso, right?
Yes.
So I want to ask you about Gattuso, because whenever I see you on the television and you're coaching, you're in a dugout, you're always cool, calm, collected. Now that's not the Italian I played with. I played with Gattuso, right? I mean, that was proper Italian passion. I mean, I'm lucky I played with Amoruso and Perino.
From the south.
Yeah.
Gattuso is Italian from the south. I am Italian from the north.
Big difference?
Big difference, yes. The Italian of the south are really more passionate compared to the Italian of the north. And Gattuso was the only one that didn't have this kind of skills, but he was a really big heart for the team, and really important to find the balance in the team, because he was the only one defensive midfielder, because we had Pirlo, Seedorf, Kaká, and all offensive midfielder, but we were able to build good balance.
Do you notice a difference in the English players' mentality?
The English really professional. The French understand really well easy training. Why not? To try to win the World Cup.
Carlo, if you win the World Cup, surely you just jump on the horse and ride off into the sunset. You go to Chelsea as well. How did that move come about? Was it something that you were a little bit nervous about?
My experience at Chelsea was fantastic because it was my first experience outside Italy. I found a fantastic club, really well organized, and of course, luckily, fantastic players too.
Great players.
Great, strong character.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you about some of the characters in that team, you know, John Terry, Frank Lampard, boys like that. Good British, solid players.
Ashley Cole.
Ashley Cole, tremendous player as well.
Joe Cole.
Joe is there as well. I worked with Joe. Joe's a tremendous character. Do you notice when you go there a difference in the English players' mentality to perhaps the Italian mentality or the Spanish mentality? Or
there is difference between the English, between the French, between the...
Tell me about the difference. What do you think?
The English really professional.
Yeah.
They don't care what they do outside the pitch, but on the pitch they're really professional, really strong. And sometimes they don't understand why they don't have to work 100% all the time. I think that the training, you have to work sometimes 100%, but sometimes you have to... They don't understand the easy training. And totally different from the French. The French understand really well easy training. They have more difficult to understand hard training. The Italians are a balance of this.
I get it. I like it. Now, you've obviously a far greater experience than me, but somehow that's how I imagined it. I thought that would be the case. I mean, and then obviously Paris as well. Is there an expectancy, certainly domestically, for Paris to win the league and win cups and things like that? Last year, I must admit, I really, really enjoyed watching PSG as a team.
Oh, unbelievable.
It was just a wonderful, wonderful watch. It really, really was. And sometimes in tournaments, perhaps the best team doesn't win it. But I just felt last year watching that team, they were deserving winners.
Yeah, imagine that the Paris Saint-Germain last year in the group phase arrived at the bottom. Huh?
Yeah.
And after that, slowly, they grow up. And of course, they deserve to win, playing really well with a fantastic balance in the team. And they deserve to win.
Is that one of the most things now, one of the most important things, particularly in that tournament, Champions League, and that is peaking at exactly the right time?
Yeah, I think the football now, modern football, you are not allowed to leave one or two players that doesn't work defensively.
Yeah.
10 years ago, 15 years ago, you're big talent, and you let him to rest when when the team didn't have the ball.
Yeah.
Football now, you are not allowed to have one player that doesn't work defensively.
Maybe Messi?
Maybe Messi, maybe.
No,
See, this is what happened in the last World Cup.
Yeah.
That Messi,
Of course.
10 players focused on him, and he did fantastic.
But you're right, that was vital about that team, that winning team. The other 10 players or the other 21 players in that squad, they knew and they accepted that he was a little bit different. We'll go into Real Madrid now, biggest club, world football, I would suggest.
Yes.
Massive, massive amounts of responsibility and focus. Was that going to a different level again?
I don't think there is a different pressure in Real Madrid. I agree, in my opinion, it's the best club in the world because it's a football club, completely football club, built by the members of the club that are still the owners of the club. So the structure of the club is completely different to the other club, but the owners of the club are the members, and the president, Florentino, represent all the members. The structure of the club is really short: president, general manager, manager, full stop. The decision making is really clear and really fast. Real Madrid has a big power, like the power built in the 50s when Real Madrid win 5 Champions League in a row with fantastic players, Di Stefano, Gento, Puskás, all these kind of things. Really special for Real Madrid. I think the club wants to keep the history alive. Yeah. The club think every day about Di Stefano, Puskás, Gento, and all the players, Casillas, Hierro, Roberto Carlos, all the players that build the history of the club. The history in the club is alive. I think that's vitally important. The history and the heritage of a club carries through. I spoke to Ramon Calderon, and we're talking about Real Madrid's success in the Champions League, and he said to me, that is our trophy. Now, he wasn't being arrogant, and he wasn't being, I think, overconfident. He was telling me that the people at Real Madrid believe that is where they're judged. The DNA of Real Madrid is really clear. You win the Champions League, the day after they are thinking to win again. They want to win again. And so the expectation is really high, but this is the reason because Real Madrid won most than any others. Carlo, you won your first Champions League in 2003 as a coach and your last one last year. What is the secret? I mean, if you could answer this, there'll be coaches up and down the land, but what is the secret to the longevity? The secret is to adapt to the evolution of football because football is changed, and to the adapt. I had the luck to have around me young people. I had a really young staff, and the young staff helped me to be more motivated to adapt to evolution of football.
Carl, I need to ask you, I mean, so much success, obviously, as a player and as a manager. It's almost an impossible question to ask you. If you could give me 3 absolute highlights as a coach and as a manager.
As a player, as a coach, is always will be Champions League.
Yeah.
By the first one, 2003.
Yeah.
In,
Old Trafford.
In Manchester.
Yeah, Old Trafford. I was at it.
Against Juventus.
Yeah.
Really bad game, but
it was. When it
you were saying this.
Wasn't the best game, but hey.
And the 2007 against Liverpool.
Incredible. You had to win that.
I had to win.
After what happened in
2005.
I was at that game, Carl, in 2005, and I promise you, I still don't believe what happened. 2 years later,
yeah,
you had to win.
We had to win. I played as a manager 6 finals.
Yeah.
You know? I lost 1, 2005, but I have to say that was the best match that my team played in the final.
Yeah.
Not compared to the 2003, 2007, and 2014 also. That was really difficult when we equalized at the last second of the game, and the other 2 in 2022 and 24. But the best game that my team played in a final was
the one you lost?
When I lost.
It's amazing. Huh? You've coached the best, absolutely the best that's ever walked this earth. The obvious ones are Ronaldo and people like that. But tell us about the likes of Modric. I mean, what a footballer, eh?
Modric, unbelievable. Still,
I know.
He's playing really well now in Milan.
Yeah.
40 years old. Fantastic players. A manager cannot build a talent. You can manage the talent. Yeah. Modric is a fantastic talent for his genetics, but he was able to support this talent with strong personality, character, humble, really humble players, not big ego, because the ego is important, but not too much.
How do you handle the ego? Not in Modric, obviously, but I would suggest maybe 1 or 2 other players had ego. How did you handle it?
I think ego is important because ego means personality.
Yeah.
But ego doesn't have to affect the balance of the team, of course.
You're picking one of your best teams, and it was just full of talent. It was Baresi, Maldini. And then your midfield, you said Lampard, and then you said, of course. Now, I understand the Lampard, but why of course?
Lampard is a modern midfielder. Yeah. Really dynamic player, really important players. Top scorer, because Lampard scored a lot of goals, box to box, is a characteristic that after 15 years you see, you want from a midfielder. You
talk about clubs with expectancy. You're now at a nation with massive expectancy. How are you enjoying it?
I love to be in Brazil. I love Brazil. I never been to Brazil.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic experience, different job, of course. We have a fantastic goal to be competitive and in the World Cup, and why not, to try to win the World Cup.
Carlo, if you win the World Cup, surely you just jump on the horse and ride off into the sunset, because surely, just adios, amigos.
Adios.
It's got to be, isn't it?
No, it is. I love this period because it's, of course, different. And maybe I needed this after a lot of years training day by day, matches. I am more quiet now, more focus on my team. I have to say, Brazil has fantastic players, and we can do a fantastic World Cup.
Lovely. My final 2 questions. Who's going to win this year's Champions League, and who's going to win the top flight in England?
Our Champions League is going to win Real Madrid, and?
England, who's going to win the title?
Arsenal.
You fancy Arsenal? They've all,
I am fan of the Premier League.
Yeah, of course.
But I think Arsenal started really well. They built a fantastic team, really solid team. And of course, I am supporter of Arsenal because I have Gabriel.
Of course.
I support Tottenham too because we have Richards, I support United. I support the Brazilian players.
Carlo, I hope you've enjoyed this half as much as I have. Thanks very, very much for your time.
Pleasure to talk to you.
It was a real experience and an honour. Thank you very
Say
much.
hello to Duncan to me.
I will do. Thank you very much. Great to see you.